Okay, hope you're able to see my screen. Let me know if you're able to see the screen. You are able to see the screen, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, thank you. In yesterday's class, we learned about virtual machine, and virtual machine is the very core service or the component in the infrastructure, because in order to have an application to be hosted, you should have a server. Okay, the server can be anywhere. The server either the server can be at on-premises or virtualization VMware or hypervisor, or also the in the public cloud. So we learned yesterday how to build a virtual machine in the Azure, the public cloud of Microsoft. And today what we are going to do, we are trying to understand couple of features or couple of options inside the virtual machines. So once you build the virtual machines, what are all the basic things that you have to keep it in your mind. Okay, so yesterday we built the virtual machine. Okay, we just tried to logged in, correct? Huh? So today we will see some post-build activities and what are all the things that you have to taken care before you hand over the virtual machines, or what are the checklist we have before give the server to the production or the go live. Okay, so I'm just trying to copy. I'm trying to copy the public IP here. Okay, so keep it here. So the public IP is yet to be loaded because I have very bad network. Are you guys able to hear me properly? Yeah, see it got loaded now. I just copied this public IP. What we have to do? We have to go to MSTSC, the Microsoft Terminal Service, okay, or we also call it as RDP or Remote Desktop Protocol Wizard. Just paste the public IP or whatever IP you wanted to. Just enter the password. You will be inside the virtual machine. Correct? Now, see when you logged into the virtual machine, so whatever name you are able to see in the computer, whatever name you are able to see in the portal, the computer name ecom VM01. Okay. Inside the operating system, you need to verify the same name is there or not. Okay. So let me log in. I just logged in. How to check the computer name? You just go to run, go to command prompt and type a command called host name. Once you type the name, see it has got the proper naming, correct. Now you are sure either you can, I mean, the computer name inside the operating system is also same, also in the portal it is same. You don't need to worry about the renaming, but you need to make sure sometimes it will be different. Okay, but if you already worked on the VMware hypervisor, in the outside of the VM the name will be different, but inside the operating system the name will be different. But in the cloud it's not like that. Whatever names you give in the outside in the portal, okay, the same name will be uh, given here. But inside the computer you can rename. Either you can make this ecom VM01 to app01, but you cannot rename any resources in the Azure or any cloud. You will not be able to rename. Once the resource is deployed, you will not be able to rename it. Okay, and another one is you need to make sure the IP address is static. Normally in the traditional way and in the traditional data center environment, we will just go to the we will go to the here network control panel ncpa.cpl. Once you will open the network interface card and then you go to the properties of it. Okay, and the TCP here, go to properties. So here what happens, we normally select this, use the following IP address, and then we will make the IP address. We will add the IP address, say 172.16.1.1, something like that. We'll just put the IP address and then we'll say apply OK. So if you give the IP address like this, then only the server will have the static IP address. Means the IP address of the computer will never get changed when you enter the IP address like this. But you have another option here, obtain an IP address automatically. Once you click on this option, the computer will try to get the IP address with the help of the DHCP server. So we have a DHCP server in the state. That DHCP server will assign the IP address to the computer, and that IP address will be keep on changing. Means every 8 days, once in 8 days. Okay, that 8 days we will call it as lease duration. Means once it gets the IP address automatically, the DHCP server will give one particular IP address to this computer for a certain amount of time. That certain amount of time or duration we call it as lease duration. Lease. Normally we will go for the house leases, right? The same concept. We will just take the house for 2 years or 3 years. Once after the lease duration is done, either we have to renew it or we have to vacate it. The two options, same options here also. Okay, the IP address will be given automatically for a computer for a certain amount of time or duration of time. That certain duration we will call it as lease duration. But in the cloud, you cannot do the IP address static like this, because we are not giving the IP address here, because the Microsoft server or the Microsoft algorithm or the DHCP server is assigning the IP address. You cannot change the IP address here, and you should not touch the IP address of a computer inside here. Okay, so what you have to do, if you want to make it static, okay, you have to go here networking, and you have to make sure that IP address is here. Just open this 10004. Okay, virtual network, connected device, you need to go, just go here, go to the IP configuration. This is 10004. Okay, here it is mentioning stat dynamic, correct? Dynamic means it gets automatically assigned by the DHCP server. So if you keep it like dynamic, this 10004 may get changed to 10005 after 8 days, but all the applications and all your configurations will be tagged to this IP address. If the IP address of the server gets changed, there will not be connectivity will not be there between the end user and the application server, and the application may not be able to open. So what we have to do, we just have to go here and make it static. So once you click on static, okay, it is asking, see whether what type of IP address, all the NIC IP, all these things are there. Just save it. Once you save this, the DHCP server will understand, yes, this particular 10004 IP address has been assigned to the computer called ecom VM01, and the network interface card ecom VM015C. This is the network interface card name. Okay, so it will never get changed, and now you see it is mentioning as 10004 in the bracket, it is mentioning as static. So these are all the basic things you need to verify. And let us understand few more informations here. The status, once you open the any virtual machine, right, you get multiple options here. The first one is the overview tab. This is very very important actually. This overview tab will give you a better understanding about what is happening, okay, or what exactly the information of the server means. You see here what resource group this VM is presented, in which resource group it is there. See, ecom rg01, rg means it is resource group, correct, right? ecom-vm01 is sitting inside this resource groups. If you want to see, or if you want to know the particular resource is in which RG, you just open that VM and you can just see the resource group information, you'll understand. And you see what kind of operating system it is. You can see it is a Windows Server 2016 data center version. And what is the size? It is a DS1 V2. DS1 means whenever you see the number here, DS1, DS2, that means that is a D series single CPU. If it is a DS2, it is a D series 2 CPU. If it is DS4, it is 4 CPU, and like that it gets keep on changing. Okay, 2 CPU, 4 GB, 2 CPU, 8 GB, 2 CPU, 12 GB. So if you want memory, you can go with memory optimized. If you want CPU, you can go with more number of CPU, less number of memory. Okay, that is depend upon the application, the behavior. The application team will help tell you, okay, I need a processor oriented SKU, or processor or memory oriented SKU. Then you can go and just look at the SKU and just pick up one size. Okay, all this information will be given by them only, and the status is very very important. Okay, see, in the interview they will ask what are the status you have in the Azure virtual machine. You can tell you have multiple status. First one is stopped, another one is running, another one is deallocated. Okay, see, if you shut down the virtual machine from the operating system, let me go here and let me shut down this virtual machine here. I'm just going to this power option and I'm just shutting down this VM. Shut down. When I shut down the computer is powered off from the operating system level. Correct now. Once the machine is powered off at the operating system level, okay, the Microsoft will not stop the billing meter. See, if you want to stop the billing meter in the cloud, you never ever stop the virtual machine or shut down the virtual machine from the portal level. I mean, inside the operating system level. What you have to do, you have to shut down the virtual machine from the portal level. Shut down means stop. See, once you see, I have shut down the computer from the operating system level, but if you still see the status here, the status is still showing it is running. That means the Microsoft is still assigned one physical hardware at the data center and your virtual machine still running in that hardware. Then the billing meter will be always keep on running. So if you want to stop the billing to save the cost, what you have to do? You have to stop. Once you click on stop, the virtual machine is now getting released from the hardware in the data center in the Western Europe. See, we have deployed the virtual machine in the Western Europe. Correct, na? And once you click on stop virtual machine, okay, what is happening now in the data center in the Western Europe? There was some rack, some hardware server was there. In from that hardware, the server, the operating system is getting released. That means the physical hardware which was running my operating system, it is getting free now. So what they will do, since it is a tenant based system, when I shut down a computer, maybe another person from the globe, he will just power on the computer. As soon as you click on the start here, this button is going to start, the other person's VM will be start consuming the same hardware which was running my operating system. That is called as tenanting system. As soon as you stop the virtual machine, your billing meter will be paused. It will be stopped. There will not be any further money will be incurred or the charge will be incurred for your particular virtual machine. Correct? Huh? Now you have understood. So there is a start is there, stop is there, deallocated is there. Once you stop, it will get stopped. And if in the bracket, if you see, it is telling deallocated. Deallocated means there is no hardware allocated in the data center. That means you are reducing the cost or you are stopping the cost of the virtual machine. Okay, that is what actually. And if you look at here, subscription information we can see, and if you see the public IP, see, normally the public IP for all the virtual machine will not be there. If you keep the virtual machine, the computer will have the internet inside. So if the computer has got internet, that means there is a security risk. Anybody can penetrate your network or anybody can try to log in or anybody can try to hack the computer, correct now, and they will release malware, ransomware, everything. So no computer will have the internet. By default, internet will be there, but the traffic will be controlled from the firewall. Okay. So now I have deployed the virtual machine in the Western Europe data center, and I don't have any connectivity from here to the Western Europe data center. That is why I'm just assigning one public IP. Using the public IP, I'm trying to log into the computer. That is why this public IP is there. Okay. And if you want to see or the network interface card, you see what is the network interface card you have here, and see, so virtual network is this one, ecom VM01 network VNet, and subnet is default subnet, and DNS name, if you want to configure something, you can configure the DNS name here. Okay, and other informations you can see it here. The disk information, availability, scale set, everything is there here. Okay, and if you want to see the monitoring, see the people will ask you how is my computer is performing. Okay, last 24 hours, how much was the CPU memory got spike, what is the maximum CPU utilization, those things can be seen here. Okay, and the second tab is, see, once you click on start, let me check, once you click on start computer, now it will just try to get one hardware allocated in the data center. Now, the hard disk, virtual hard disk, which gets stored in the storage account, that is loading to an hardware, and I will start incurring the cost. Okay, so connect means, you know already, connect means to connect it. Capture means if you want to capture the complete VM as an image, once you click on capture, this particular VM will get deleted. It will become, once you click on capture, this particular VM will become deleted, and then a new image will be getting created, and you can rebuild the virtual machines. How much ever virtual machines you wanted, you can rebuild it. Delete means, you know, to delete it actually. And refresh is just a refresh button. And if you want to open this website in the mobile, okay, you can just click on this, and the mobile websites will be, you can scan it like this, and it will get open it, I mean it will be opened in the mobile as well. Okay, and then the second tab is activity log. See, the activity log will help you to understand. It will list out all the activities which get performed, all the events which will be happened in the portal level, not in the operating system level. This will be only give the information at the portal level. Okay, maybe you have right size, you are downsized, or you have shut down, restarted, you made IP change, whatever information that you, whatever activity that you do, that will be getting listed here. Okay, and that by default it will give you only 30 days of information. If you have log analytics workspace enabled, you can go for number of days, there is no restrictions. Okay, so last 24 hours or last two, okay, last 24 hours, if I see, you will see more events. See, if you see more events, it has got, so here it will tell you who event initiated by whom, what time, okay, what is the status, and what is the operation name, everything can be seen in the activity log. If somebody asks you how can I track the changes which has happened to a virtual machine which is inside the Azure cloud, you can tell we have an option called activity log. So the activity log will allow us to do no look at the events which got happened at the portal level. Okay, I can, we can do the customization also. We can see the last 1 day, 24 hours, 6 hours, even custom the dates, n number of days also, if the log analytics workspace is there, or if we have the logs stored. Okay, so that can be tell, I mean you can give the answer like that. And if you want to export it to a CSV, you can just export also. It will just download a CSV, and you can share it to someone, maybe who does the auditing or who does the analysis for them, you can send it. Okay, and another one is access control, identity and access management. We call it as access control or identity access management. So why do we need this identity and access management? So this is the universal. See, this first four options are there. No, these are the universal. You open any resource for that matter, these four things will be there, basics actually. Okay, so this identity and access management is there, no? This will allow you to grant access to this particular resource. Means, say for example, you have 1500 servers in the estate. You don't want to give access to a portal, okay, to this portal, to a user to see all the 1500 computers, but you wanted to grant access only to this particular resource or this resource group. Okay, this access can be given multiple level. Either you can give a particular resource or the resource group or the subscription or the tenant level, like our hierarchy is there, na? Hierarchy wise you can give. I don't want any user, when he logged into the portal, I don't want him to see all the 1500 computers. That's why what I will do, I will only grant access to this ecom VM01. So I'll just go to identity and access management, and you can just, role assignments you can go. Okay, and you can search what kind of role you wanted. A number of roles are there. Okay, see here, privilege check access. Okay, if you click on add, okay, see, I'm not able to see. Nanda is the owner of the subscription. Okay, since Nandan is the owner of the subscription, it is disabled for me. I cannot be able to grant access. But if Nanda try to click on add option, he will get assign a role. As soon as you click on assign a role, you will get all these roles available. See all these roles: owner, contributor, reader, app complies. There are n number of roles are there. See desktop virtualization, many things are there. So what level you wanted, you can just click on that level and just add the user like manju underscore tg and apply OK. So you will, Manju will only have access to this ecom VM01 when he log into the portal. Even though there is 51,500 servers, you don't see the 1,499 servers. You will only see this particular VM. Okay, that is how this identity and access management works. And the next one is tags. Tags are very very important. I told you tags will give you the visibility of on the resource, that particular resource. When you have 10 servers, 20 servers, 100 servers, 100 resources, it is easy to track. But you when you have 10,000, 20,000 resources in the estate or in the Azure subscription, it is not very easy to know who's owning this, what application is running, what kind of category it is, what kind of SLA it is, what business market, business function. So if you just come and look at here, you will understand. Yes, what is the application? It's an e-commerce application. Who is the application owner? Yes, Manju is the application owner. What kind of category it is? Oh, it's a production server. Okay. What business function or business market? Okay, maybe India. Like this, you will understand. With this, what is your understanding? Oh, if this is a production server owned by Manju and this runs an application called e-commerce, if this server gets shut down, the business market India will be impacted. Okay, that is how this will give you the insight. So the tags are very very important. Okay, so whenever you go to any company, if somebody asks you how to build a virtual machine, you need to make sure these many information. The first one is this one: what should be the name? Is there any particular naming convention is there? You need to understand what is the naming convention, what should be the newly building virtual machine name. Second, what kind of operating system you wanted? You want a Windows operating system, you want a Linux operating system in Windows, what version you wanted, 2016, 2019, 2022. What operating system you wanted? You have to ask this question. Then what size it is. Then you want, what do you want, a public IP or not? Then the important factor is in which VNet and subnet I should deploy the virtual machine. Correct? So, and then the tags information, what kind of tags I should do. So these are all the basic information. So once you get a task to build a resource, if you ask these questions, nobody will get the doubts on you, because this comes only when you work. If you simply do the Udemy course, or if you simply do the any course, right, you will not get these insights. Okay, so try to use this kind of tactics. Okay, and the diagnostics and solve problems, this is not an thing. Actually, whenever you have any kind of issue, you can just come and look at here. And the networking means it will only give the information about the networking. I mean, how many network interface cards are there? Means you see this is your network interface card, ecom bm01565, but this machine has got two NIC cards because you have two IP address. One is public IP, this 10004. Another one is this this is a public, this is a private IP 10004. Another one is public IP 2103 161.54. Okay, and then you also see this network security groups. So this network security groups is nothing but it is a kind of firewall which can be assigned at the network interface card of a computer or the subnet of a computer. Okay, two level you can apply. One is you can directly link it to the network interface card, or you can directly link to the subnet. If you link the NSG or the firewall to the network interface card, that will work only for that particular VM. But if you link that to a subnet, then whatever computers are there or the servers are there in the subnet, for everything the same rules will be applied. Now you see here we have a computer, correct? Huh? So this RDP is there 33810, correct, right? Let me open this 3389. Okay, and I'll show you. So here you are telling what is this one? What is the source? Source means any, means you can try from any of the computer. What is the port range? Star. I am not mentioning the port ranges. Okay, it is exclamatory. And what kind of service? It's the RDP. What is the port number? 3389. What kind of protocol? It's a TCP protocol. And you see here action. What is the action? it is allow is there. So if since it is allow, I'm able to log in. When I make it to deny, you will not be able to RDP to the server. Let me show you now. Okay. If I go here and MSTSC, the same IP 20, 103, 161, 54. If I try to connect, see it is allowing me to ask the password. So I am able to log into the computer or the server because here I have enabled this 3389 port. See, one computer will have around 65,555 ports. Okay, each and every port is used for a different purpose. This RDP, the 3389, will also be used for to connect a computer over the remote. See, I'm sitting here in India and this server is somewhere in the Western Europe. With the help of 3389, the RDP protocol, I'm able to connect to this computer with remotely. Correct? Huh? So let me log off here and I'll show you what I will do. Since it is enabled, allow. What I will make now, I will make it deny. I will make it deny and I will say apply and save it. So now if I check whether my computer will be able to RDP or not, the same MSTSC, and I will click on connect. Oh, this is something wrong. 1 second, or I'll delete it. Wait. I'll open this one. 3389, right? Any is there. Oh, that is what's opening. Okay, fine, no problem. So it should not work if it is delay. Okay, sometimes it might take some time to get reflected, the settings to be reflected, right? So what I will do, I'll go to the network security group and I will delete that rule itself. Okay, I'll go to networking here. Okay, then I'll go to network security groups. Network security group, see the name itself is telling you it's a network security group, correct na? So if you open the 3389 port here, so here you have a delete option na? Just click on delete. Yes. Yeah. So I have deleted the rule now. Okay. So to be safer side, what I will do, I will just restart this computer as well, because sometimes the settings won't get reflected immediately. Okay. So what I will do, I will just restart this computer. Click on restart here. See, restart option is there. You can restart the computer. You can even do the restart from the portal, guys. You don't need to log into the operating system and then you do the restart. Not necessarily required. That saves a lot of time. This one. If you want to log in, it will take another 30 seconds to log in and then shut down or restart the computer, right? That is why you can handle these kind of things from the portal itself. Okay, so now you see the status is now back. Let me refresh it. It is still loading. Okay, that is why that restart option is still grayed out. But if I try to RDP it, it will not happen now. It will tell you, please check whether the RDP is enabled or not, or whether the computer is in network or not, or the computer is powered on or not. These three things it will tell. So it is important to read the errors carefully. See, the remote desktop can't connect to the remote computer for one of these reasons. The three reasons are there. One is the remote access to the server is not enabled, means RDP is not enabled. Now we have deleted the rule. No? We have deleted the rule, the NSG rule, to not to allow any kind of RDP connections. Second one is the remote computer is turned off. But see, either the first option is you may not be enabled RDP, that is correct in our case. The second one, the remote computer is turned off. No, the computer is up and running. See here, this computer is up and running. Third one is the remote computer is not available on the network. No, the computer is there in the network because previously we tried to connect it. Correct now. So now, one second, guys. ಅಪ್ಪಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೀನಿ ಕಣೋ, ಮನೇಲಿ ಇದೀನಿ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೀನಿ. Yeah. See, even though it is still loading, okay. Let me refresh the page again. Ah. Now the computer is up and running. It says still running, correct, right? So since I have removed the connectivity here in the network settings, if you go to network security group, means that's a firewall. Inside the firewall, there is no rules are there. See, there is no HTTPS is there. Means you can open the website, URL all you can open. But the 3389 is not there. So now let me connect again. See, even though the computer restarted, it has taken it properly. Okay, but it still says RDP is not enabled. How to verify it? You have another option. Control C, go to command prompt, CMD telnet. Yeah, see telnet is there. Let me set. Ah. See now telnet, there is a command called telnet space, put the IP address or the computer name and put the port number 389 3389 na? Yeah, see, it is still trying to connect via port number 3389. Okay, after some time it tells you the connectivity is not established. You see here, it is trying to check the status, the port status for this 3389. But however, see, could not open the connection to the host on the port number 3389, the connection failed. This means there is no connectivity or there is no port opened in the VM01. Now, if you want to add a rule, just click on create or a port or a create a rule. Okay, inbound rule it is, because I am trying to allow the connection to this computer. It's an inbound one. The source is any, destination is any, custom services 3389 you can put RDP. You can select RDP will be there somewhere. Or you can put TCP also. Three port name is 3389. TCP it is. And here allow. Priority you can put 300, any number. Lesser the number, more the priority. Okay. So description allow RDP. But here it should show the RDP only. RDP is there, yes, RDP is there. So what I will do, I will just add it. As soon as you add the rule, that means you are allowing that 3389 connectivity to the computer. You see, one more allow any RDP inbound 3389. Okay, any is there. Now, if you go to the same command and try to hit the telnet test, okay, it should be, it should get connected. Okay, it should show it is connected. It might take some time, but it should show. So let me refresh it here. And meantime, let me also try to connect here. Just 1 minute. Let me review the rule. This is allow inbound. it is any, destination is any, service is RDP, port number is correct, priority is fine, allow RDP, it's correct only. Okay, RDP is exposed to the internet. This is only recommended for testing production. Yes. See, RDP port 3389 is exposed to the internet. This is only recommended for testing. For production environments, we recommend using VPN or private connections. Means internet should not be there for all the servers. That is what. Let me restart this computer once. In the real time, you don't need to restart because there you have time. Here you don't have time. Okay, that is why I'm just restarting to make sure the setting is working fine or not. See, now the rules got updated now, guys. That's why it was not happening. Now, if you try, it should work. See, now the connectivity is, it says connected. That's why I would have not, restarted. See, updates, security rules. It's just a few seconds ago it is done. But after that, I gave the restarting. So since now the rules are applied, see the telnet 20 103 160 154, it has got a connection. Command prompt telnet 20.103.161.54. Okay. You can just type quit or control C. Now, if you go to the command, the RDP manager here, and just click on connect, see it is asking you to enter the username and password. Right, so now we understood about little bit about the NSG. Anyway, we are going to do the NSG later, but today you just have to get familiar with what all options you have inside the virtual machine. Okay, so connect means the same thing. Bastion means if you want to, I mean, if you don't want to review the identity of the server. Say for example, you don't want to show the people's what exactly the IP address of this private IP address of this machine. We can use Bastion. Okay, we can use NAT gateway, and NAT gateway will add an public IP address. So using your public IP, you can connect your computer in a secured manner. That is called as Bastion. Okay. Another one is Windows Admin Center. You can just go there and I can try to explore the administrative related stuff actually. Okay. Server manage increase control, many things are there. So you don't have to worry about that. And this is load balancing. If a computer is behind a load balancer, you can just see what kind of load balancer it is, and what is the front end IP, back end IP, how many got pools are there, everything can be seen here. And this application security groups means it is also ASGs, means similar to the network security group NSG, we have another thing called ASG, application security group, means to enable the ports rather using the port source and destination, you can just group the same kind of applications together, and wherever you go to the network security group you can just select the ASG, and by default automatically the same kind of applications, all the applications which are belongs to the same category will have the port opened. Okay, you don't have to worry about this for now. And then disk options are there. If you want to see how many disks got added, what is my operating system disk name, this is the disk name, what is the capacity, 128 GB, 127 GB, and what is the maximum IOPS, see 6500, all these things are there. And if you want to see the data disk, see this is a data disk. Let me log in there, MSDSC. If I log in, I'll show you PASSWRD@123. So that 128 GB disk is there na, so I will show you the data disk also, how to create a drive in the data disk. So see in the cloud how speed it is, very quickly you can connect to the server. Means in the data center, in the Microsoft data center, they manage all the highly advanced devices, so it will be fast, it will be too much faster. Okay, now if you go to the my computer or this PC, in this computer, and go to this PC, click on this PC, you see you are only having two drives. One is Windows drive, C drive, another one is your temporary drive. But if you remember, I've added on data disk here. What is the data disk capacity? Here, if you look at here, the data disk has got this 128 GB of storage there. but you don't see a data disk here. So how to create that? How to check? Go to run and type disk mgmt disk management dot msc Microsoft terminal console. Okay, enter, and then the disk management will open here, and see it automatically detected there is a 128 GB disk. Okay, close this one. I will show you freshly. And you see here one disk, the disk 2, its the status is unknown and the capacity is 128 GB and the status is not initialized. Okay, now, and it is also showing you unallocated. What you can do, you can right click on the C drive. If you want to shrink, you can shrink, but here if you want to means if you want to increase the size, say for example, see, if you want to create a new drive, right click on the dark one, the ribbon is dark, right? Okay, why it is not unallocated? You have to right click here and initial do the initialize disk. Once the disk initialization is done, okay, now it got unallocated. See, now the disk is basic one, it is online. Now you are able to create the partitions. Now you click on the dark ribbon here, right click, and you see new simple volume. What kind of drive you wanted? You wanted E drive. You can select what kind of whatever drive letters you wanted. Okay, next, NTFS, this is all by default, and finish. See, now it is formatting the newly created drive, which is my E drive. Now if you go to the this PC and refresh, you see a new drive called E drive. See, new drive. I'm going to create a new file here, test file. Okay, I'm going to create a new doc file or any kind of text file only. Test test. Okay, I'm just saving it. Okay, these are the activities you will do there. So now, say for example, you want to extend this, you want to increase the size of this virtual machine. Okay, click on this disk. Okay, go to the configuration here, size and performance, go there. And you see here now, that is currently a 128 GB, correct now? You want to have it 256 GB. Select the 256 GB and say OK. If you want to increase, see, all these things we will do again, but I'm just showing you where all you can, because if tomorrow if you're practicing, you should know where you can just go and touch the things, nah? So you will have the better understanding, and where what option comes where, that is important to know. Okay, now if I just go to this PC, refresh, it is still showing 128 GB only. Go to disk management, I'll refresh it again. I think it is still yet to it is still loading. See, notification is not applied, still in updating the disk information. It will take some time. Once the notification is there, like it is successfully updated, then you can just look at the operating system level. The data disk, you don't need to restart, you can done it like it's a hot swap. We call it as hot swap. Hot swap means when the server is running only, you can do the things, the changes and all. For the operating system drive, for the application drive, you need to shut down the operating system, okay, or the virtual machine. I will show you our operating system as well, one, so that you will get to know, you'll get the confidence. So are you guys following me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Manju.
Yes, sir.
Please stop me if you are not understanding. So you just have to wait. So let this get completed. So what we can do, we can go to the other options as well. Meantime, this we are done. Extension is fine. I mean, if you want to install any kind of extensions like any plugins or maybe some kind of agents, okay. If you want to install Splunk agent, you can just come. Or if you want to install OMS agent, just you come, click on add or vulnerability agent. There are a lot of agents will be there. See, if you want a semantic to be installed, or if you want agent for Windows monitoring server, okay, AMD, see application inside Azure AD base. There are many things are there. Okay, you can just come here and you can install if you want it. Okay, so that is about the extensions. Configuration, this is disk is done. No? So disk is done. This is computer size. If the computer size has to be changed, you can just click on the size, and here you will have all the list of sizes available. So the currently the VM is DS1V2, right? If you want to make it DS2V2, just click this size and click on resize. The computer size will get changed. I will show you tomorrow all this informations. Okay. So today, see now the successfully updated disk option has come. So what I will do, I'll try to refresh this once. I'll get into the operating system. I'll close this freshly. I think I need to log off. See, it has got 127 GB already available. Now I have increased it to 256 GB. Na? That is why another 250 GB, 128 GB is unallocated. Right? So, what do you have to do? If you want to increase this to from 128 to 256 GB, just right click on this and you have an option called extend volume. So extend means you can increase the size. Shrink means you can reduce the size. Click on extend volume. Next. And it is a disk 2, yes. And finish. See? Now it has become 255 GB or 256 GB. If you look at the data which you kept, see it is still showing 127. I need to refresh it once. See, it got increased to 56 GB. And look at the data. Whatever data, test file, new text document, see, it is there. And also some inside the test I have written something, see, it is still there. Means without hampering your data, you have increased the size of the disk. That is our the data disk. I wanted to show you to increase for the operating system disk. Okay. If you go to the disk options here, okay, and this is your operating system disk. The same thing, if you go to the size option, the operating system, see it is showing. But if you increase to 256 GB, see the save option is not coming. It is grayed out. Changes to the disk size can be made only when the disk is unattached or the managing virtual machines are deallocated. Means you can increase or decrease the size when the disk is unallocated or unattached to any disk, or when the virtual machine is shut down. Right? So now if you go to the overview, okay, before I do that, let me go and create something on the desktop, because C drive is desktop. It is there. Manjo test file is there. Okay. So restoration, I'll do one thing. Azure OS disk size. Okay. Let me be here, no problem. And I'm shutting down this virtual machine. Okay. I'll go to the virtual machine and I'll go to the overview, and there you have an option called stop. You have to stop, then only this will get deallocated, because if you read properly there, it was showing you either the virtual machine disk should be unattached or the machine should be deallocated. So deallocating means the virtual machine will get released from the hardware in the data center, because it's a tenanting system. Okay. So let this get completed. The deallocation should get completed. ಏನು ಸಮಾಚಾರ ರಜನೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಬೇರೆ ಹುಡುಗರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ yeah it's still stopping. See, successfully stopped the virtual machine, right? So now if you go to the disk options here, okay, now you click on this operating system disk. Let me refresh it again. Yeah, now click on 256 GB. See, now the save option is enabled. Click on 256 GB and see now the size is the updated, the successfully updated the disk. Now what you have to do, you have to go there and I'll go to the virtual machine here. Now if you just look at the disk option and you look at the operating system level, it is 256. I mean at the port level it is 256 GB. Now let me log in to the virtual machine. MSTSC, I am using a public IP to connect. Is it not powered on? Okay, I think it is not powered on. Yeah, it is not powered on. I'm just starting the virtual machine. As soon as I click on the start option, the virtual hard disk which got stored in the storage account will get loaded to the hardware in the data center. Now the billing will be start incurring. Okay, so once the machine is loaded completely, then I will be able to connect to the operating system and check the size. So it's still loading, it seems. Yep, it started, right? Now if I go here, I'll go to MSTSC. I'll just hit enter and I'll just hit enter. See, I'm able to log in now. Password at the rate 123. See, this kind of job anybody can do, and that is why Azure is very easy. If you already have an experience in maybe Salesforce or any other cloud, now it is not so easy. That is why people are rushing towards this one. I mean Azure cloud. Okay. See, I have my files here. I have my test files here. But if I go to the this PC, I will be only seeing 128 GB as the disk. See, it is still showing 126 GB only. Okay. But if you go to disk management, if you go to disk management here and see here, it is unallocated, still 129 GB is there. You can just right click on the C drive 126 GB and now extend the volume. Okay, and next, and you see this 129 GB we have added now, so that will be getting added here, and it has become 256 GB, right? Now if you look at on the desktop, see I have my two files. If you look at your my computer, your disk size is 256 GB. See, 256 GB. And sometimes they will ask you to shrink a volume. Okay, means reduce the size. What you can do, 256 GB is there. Okay, E drive. So go here. Sometimes you this is as part of the cost optimization. Okay, means you will notice that, see, cloud is very easy, but cloud is very expensive if you don't use it properly. See here, I have 256 GB, but I'm only use about 80 GB. So the size can be reduced half of it. Correct now. So that you will save around around 300 350 DKK per month, you can save it. So if that is the case, how to shrink or reduce the size? There are two things actually. One, you can shrink from the operating system level, but if you shrink from the operating system level, you will, if the price will not be reduced, I mean, you will not be able to save anything. Okay, you can create another drive. But in the portal, if you reduce the size here, in the portal, if you reduce the size by one size here, uh, it has got 256 GB, right? So what you can do, you can just go to the size and performance, and you reduce it to maybe 128 GB. Okay, I just selected 128 GB. Reducing the size is not supported in Azure to prevent the data. Okay, okay, earlier we were able to do it, but now they are not. What they are doing now, they are not, no, I mean, they are not, allowing us to reduce the size of the disk. If you want to do it directly, you cannot do it. What we can do, we can take the snapshots and create a new disk out of the snapshot and shrink that to the 128 GB, and then attach here. Here, if you come here, here you have an option called attach, create and attach, or attach existing disk. Click that and select the disk and add it here. Like that you can do. But here you can shrink in the operating system level to create multiple drives. Say for example, I have 255 GB. I don't want this 255 GB to work as a single drive. I will do one thing. I will shrink this by 100 GB. How much I want to shrink? I want to shrink by 100 GB. This is MB, 10,000, 1000 MB, 10,000 MB. Okay, fine. See, now I'm shrinking by 100 GB. See, 97 GB is unallocated. What I will do, either I can create a new volume. See, either I can extend this, I can extend this, okay, volume, or I can create a new disk. I will create a new sample volume, okay, simple volume. I'll just next, okay, 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 F drive, finish, done. See, now, if you look at this PC or my computer, you have two drives, two data drives. One is E drive, another one is F drive. How it is possible? Because you have created, you have here. Right click on this, delete volume. I'm just telling you, delete volume, and it gets free up. Now, if you want to extend, but your data loss will be there. If you want to delete something, your data loss will be there. You lost all the data now. It has become a raw one. It is a raw. What you can do, you can just now extend it. Next, next, finish. See, now it has become a single drive. See, like this, when you have hands on, now you can play like anything. But being an IT guy, our motive is to keep our environment healthy, better performing, and our data is safe. These three are the major things. You have to keep those things, those three things in your mind, and then you take the moves accordingly. Okay, so with this, I think we can just stop it here today. Tomorrow we will just come up with some other options. Okay, and guys, please feel free to talk to me if you have any doubts. Okay, because